Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, let's break this down. The OIC, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, which represents around 57 Muslim majority countries in the world, represents roughly 10% of global GDP with a purchasing power parity GDP of around $22 trillion. The European Union has a population of around 450 million, with 4 to 5% of that population being Muslim. The OIC constitutes a population of roughly 2 billion. The global Muslim population is growing faster than any other group of people in the world, both through births and through conversions. At least half of the developed countries in Europe are facing a population collapse, including crucial states like Germany. And Russia and China are also both rapidly sliding over the demographic cliff, with China's population expected to be cut in half over the next 50 or 60 years. The median age in the Muslim world is just 23 years old. That's younger than any other population on earth. Our countries constitute roughly 20% of all land on the planet. And the most strategic sea lanes in the world are largely under Muslim jurisdiction. The Suez Canal, the Mediterranean Sea, the Straits of Hormuz, and the Straits of Malacca. Our natural resources dwarf those of the West. Not only do our countries account for roughly 75% of oil and gas, we also account for roughly 40% of global exports in every other sector. We are easily the single biggest, single most important demographic group in the world, with the greatest potential. And that is why we have been invaded, mass murdered, oppressed by Western-backed regimes, destabilized by Western-created, trained, funded, and managed terrorist organizations. That's why our governments, our education systems, our civil society, our development have all been undermined for decades by Western interference and coercion. But I'm here to tell you that the last 100 years or so of Muslim subjugation and weakness are going to end up just being an anomaly in our history, just as Western and European dominance is an anomaly in their history. Both these phenomena are out of character, and Europe and the West are returning to their natural state, and the Muslim world is returning to our natural state. The sooner we and they understand this, the better for everyone. Insofar as we can talk realistically about inevitabilities in the world, acknowledging that all matters are, of course, subject to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is inevitable that the Muslims will become once again the greatest cultural, political, economic, and civilizational influence in the world. We need to recognize this ourselves, and the Westerners do too. Those in the West who let go of their animosity and hostility towards the Muslims will be ahead of the curve, and Muslims who let go of their awe and admiration for the West will save themselves from being left behind in an embarrassingly obsolete paradigm. Jazakumullahu khairan wa assalamu alaikum.